Hi, I'm Emily Davis, and this is Two Extremes, stories about my life with bipolar disorder, and how occasionally I try to kick it in the booty hole. Today I want to talk about how creativity might or might not be affected through the use of psychotropic medications to treat bipolar disorder, or similar disorders such as chronic depression or post-traumatic stress disorder, attention deficit disorder, and the list goes on. I've heard from other people and have experienced myself a dulling in the areas of spontaneous creativity. I remember when I first started taking meds to treat my depression, I was 17 years old, and they put me on maximum dosages of 4 different medications. I was taking every day 200 milligrams of Zoloft, 60 milligrams of Cymbalta. I would take 2 dosages of Visceral, and I would take Abilify, and if I remember correctly, I think I was on 70 milligrams of Abilify, or 100, or I don't know. It's been a while. But I do remember being on maximum dosages, and I eventually had this bout of a mild depression because I felt as though everything was just kind of flat. The way I was internalizing the world around me and then regurgitating it through my own perspective, it felt very grayscale. There were days where I was just kind of ambivalent and apathetic about life. And it was an improvement from the days where I couldn't crawl out of bed and was bombarded constantly with suicidal thoughts and stuff. That was the case for me when I was 17. And so I left that place, and I think the medications did help in that area. It did help me feel as though my soul was a little lighter, I guess that's how I would put it. People misunderstand psychotropic meds as like artificial happiness, and that is, holy crap, that is so far from the truth. You don't take a psychotropic medication and suddenly feel as though everything's jubilation and groovy and cool. Really what they do is just they help you increase your serotonin levels or whatever other neurotransmitters might be misfiring in your head. They help to they strive to help rebalance the scales. But in that process, I felt at the time that everything was just kind of flatlined. And it was difficult for me to find energy or joy in things, especially in creativity. It's funny, I wrote a song while I was going through this process, and it actually was an okay song called In Monotone. But songwriting for me comes in waves. I find that a lot of my creativity seems to align with the cycles of my bipolar disorder. I went through an intense period of mania between the months of November and January of both last year and this year. And in that time, I was writing songs, or at least lyrics, left and right. And in the span of, a couple months, I ended up writing about 5 or 6 songs that I enjoyed and liked and saw myself perhaps putting on an album. And since then, it's tapered a bit. And part of me knows better than to blame it on the drugs, because writing is kind of like exercise. And that's what I've heard before, and that's what I've learned in my own life. The more you write, the better you get at writing. It's like bench pressing. The more you bench, the heavier you can bench. The more you write, the easier it comes out of you. And there are people who write like songs every day for a year. And I marvel at those people, because sometimes I feel as though my writer's block is even more manifest during times of depression. When my mania is limited by meds and my depression is sort of limited. Not only writing becomes a chore, but everything just kind of feels like, ugh. I made a video weeks ago talking about Seroquel and how much it's improved my life, and I stand by every word of that video, but there are days where I just kind of miss that manic side a little bit. I've also said that I don't enjoy it, and to an extent that's true, but there's moments in mania where you can find excitement and creativity. You feel like an exploding firecracker, and you just kind of want to get it all out of you, and that can be a stressful, annoying thing, but there's times where it could be very fruitful in the areas of creativity. I also think that my creativity is limited by the fact that I struggle with seasonal depression. Summers have always been kind of hard for me, and that's why the last 2 summers, I think, I've really tried to stuff them full of activities. And I've been trying to do that with this summer as well, but summer 2015, I was recording my album. Summer 2016, I was on the road with my band for an entire month of July. This summer, I'm trying to wrap up an EP. We're going on tour in a couple weeks, so I'm trying to keep busy, but summers, for whatever reason, ever since probably easily for the last 8 or 9 years, they've been difficult for me. They've really added to the depression I often feel out of them. And so not only writing becomes difficult, but getting out of bed and feeling motivated to do really anything. And it's an improvement from my normal depressive cycles that go untreated with medication, but it's still there. Still makes writing difficult. It's like, what do I have to say that I've already... how many songs am I going to write about religious guilt or fascination with space? I mean, how often can you do that? And so I get in my own head, and the depression just makes it worse than the medications. It levels me a little bit, but sometimes I wonder, like, what kind of role it plays in my creativity. I know better. I know I need to write more. I know I need to sit down and force myself to do it, and I'm trying to do that, but sometimes I feel as though when I'm untreated, it maybe just comes out easier. Part of me is, like, tempted sometimes to, like, cut my Seroquel in half and see where that leads me. But it's not a good idea. I will put a disclaimer. You should always talk to your doctor or whoever's treating you or prescribing you meds. You should always clarify that with them before doing anything of the sort. My problem is that I see a nurse practitioner for my mental health maybe once every 2 months. So there are long stretches where I don't have an answer to my qualm. And my qualm right now is, am I over-medicated? Even though it's helped my depression, and maybe coming down a little bit will spark something in me. I don't know. So I attended, like, a writer's workshop Saturday, and I think those are good things. But I think I'm going to start trying to go to writer's workshops. And then hopefully I can get in a rhythm where my writing and my medications kind of align. I think that's the long-term goal for now, and I'm excited about tour because the last tour we went on, I wrote a shitload, so there's a reason why so many bands write albums while they're on the road, because it's such a crazy, almost alternative universe type experience where you feel like you've stepped out of your own time bubble and you're just kind of in that other reality that you sometimes go to. Your main reality is here at home, and then tours that other reality where you get to dip into that for some time. And so I'm hopeful that tour will inspire a lot of creativity in me, and I'm looking at it with a positive perspective, and it's going to be fun. As long as you make things fun, they're fun. So that's my goal. I think that's all I have for this week. I was struggling to come up with this topic this week. I've had a few in my mind, but some topics are easier to talk about than others. I've tried filming these before, and I'll have a topic in mind, and I'll just kind of sit there deadpanned for a few minutes, so glad it worked out. If you are unaware, I am, like I mentioned, going on tour. Please hit up my Facebook, facebook.com/edavismusic. There you will find all of my tour dates that are listed. You will find event pages if you want to RSVP to any of the dates. We're going to many cities throughout the Midwest, and we're even going to Toronto in Canada to play with my friend Jen Fiorentino, who is amazing. I'm sure most of the people who watch these already are aware of her, but if you aren't, go check out her covers. She does awesome stuff. I'm done. I have to go to a doctor's appointment, but I will see you soon next time on Two Extremes. Bye.